Good morning. Today is day 5 of the reading rush. It's crazy that we're already on day 5, yet it still doesn't really feel real. But, it is like 10:08. My video is up. It is scheduled for 10:30. It's 10:08 right now. Don't know if I already said that, but whatever. So I do have about, okay, so basically last night I had like 90 pages left in 450 from Paddington, but I'm gonna back up a couple of chapters because I was just so out of it. The fatigue was really getting to me. So I think I'm gonna back up to like where I was a little while ago. So I have about like 120 pages left, a little bit, I think, maybe a little bit more. But I'm really enjoying that book. The thing with Agatha Christie that I realized is that they are so much better on reread, because she introduces a lot of characters very quickly, like in very little amount of time. She introduces a lot of characters, and they all have pretty similar names, and my brain, I don't know why, but when Mr. and Mrs. is written like MR dot or MRS dot, I always switch them. My brain just, I don't know why, but I always switch them, so that sometimes confuses me. I know that's my own problem, but whatever. So they're a lot better on reread, especially since it's very hard for me to pay attention to like characters' personalities and their connection to like a lot of people, because I'm always trying to figure out who the murderer is. So when you reread them, you know who the murderer is, so you're allowed to like pay more attention to the sort of minute details, I guess. But I don't really have anything to add because I haven't read anything since last night. But I also really want to read Shah and the Tree of Wishes today. I'm really in the mood for that book. It's pretty short. It's a middle grade. I'm in the mood for a middle grade. So that is definitely one that I think I'm going to read once I finish 450 from Paddington. I'm also going to go on a run because I need to get out of the house and I need to exercise. Also, sorry, I hate looking at myself in the mirror. So, like, when I'm editing, so we're not going to go there. But what was I saying? Yeah, I'm gonna go for a run because I haven't been outside in like 5 days. So we're gonna fix that. I'm gonna make my bed. Hopefully I can read before I go out for a run. Maybe not. We'll see. But I don't really have anything to do today, as has been for this entire week. But I'm probably going to read a little bit. I will check in and then we'll see where the day takes us. Right now, it is like 11:30, and I have finished 450 from Paddington by Agatha Christie. I think I settled on a rating of 3.75. I enjoyed it more than A Pocketful of Rye, but the middle was a little bit boring to me. I did not expect the killer to be who the killer was. It was, now that I think about it, it's like pretty obvious, not in like a bad way, but it's like, oh yeah, like once you know who it is, you're like, oh my god, how did I not see that? Because it's very, I don't know, it's kind of tropey, but it's also like, I don't know how to describe it. Also, I don't want to spoil it, but it was really interesting. I did not predict who the killer was. I did predict who the killer was in A Pocketful of Rye, but not in this one, so that was good. I do think the execution of this novel could have been better. The plotline of it is really interesting, and it's really interesting, but I don't think the execution was as good as it could have been, especially with the way that Agatha Christie has done other mysteries before. I feel like this could have been better. But overall, I really enjoyed it. I don't have much to add, but it was really interesting to read. I liked how Miss Marple was in it for the entire book. She was a constant. I liked that. I definitely enjoy the books where she is more of a main figure a lot more than other books, hence why A Pocketful of Rye is not my favorite in the series. My favorite in the Miss Marple series has continued to be They Do It With Mirrors. I really loved that book. Okay, so I was cut off there. My memory card was full, and then I had to, like, delete stuff, but it wouldn't let me delete anything, and then I had to, like, take out my memory card and put it back. It was this whole thing. But I was saying how I would rank the Miss Marple series so far. Number 1 is They Do It With Mirrors. Then I would probably say The Body in the Library. then 450 from Paddington, and then Pocketful of Rye. I've only read 4 books in that series. I believe there are about, like, 13. I have read, like, such a small fraction of Agatha Christie books, but like, my life goal is to have read all of them. So far, I believe I read, And Then There Were None, Murder on the Orient Express, Crooked House, and then the 4 Miss Marple books that I just mentioned. So that makes 7. I have read 7 Agatha Christie books, and I think she probably has, like, 80. But, anyway, getting sidetracked, I really liked it, and I would recommend it. It was good. Agatha Christie is a very good mystery writer, and that is not news, but whatever. Now, I am going to go on a run, get outside, get some fresh air, like, just leave my house. And then probably I'm going to start Shah and the Tree of Wishes. I'm really freaking excited to read that book. I don't know why, I'm in, like, the perfect mood for it. So, that should be fun. And I will talk to you when I have started to read that. So I'm back, I had lunch, and now I'm going to start reading. I'm really excited. As I said, I'm, like, in the mood for it. And I feel like it'll be a really fun read. I'm kind of in the mood for a middle grade. And I haven't read a Roshani Chokshi book in a while. I did read The Silvered Serpents in February, but that was a reread. So I haven't read a Roshani Chokshi book for the first time since, I think, December. So it has been quite a while, and I'm very excited to jump into this one. That's it, I just wanted to say that I was going to read it. It is a little while later, and I'm currently on page 98 of Shah and the Tree of Wishes. I love this cover so much. I think it's so pretty. But, I'm really enjoying it. I love this series. I love all the characters. I love the writing, the humor. I just really love everything about this series. I loved Shah and the Song of Death. I think so far that's my favorite, but also I'm I'm barely even 100 pages into this one, and they're like 370 pages, so I can't really make a fair judgment yet. But so far, I'm really liking this one. I like the new characters. I liked the overall plot line of Shah and the Song of Death more than this one, but once again, this one could completely blow me out of the water. So, yeah. I really love this so far. Like, Shah and the Song of Death was, like, one of my favorite books of last year. And I think it was, like, one of the only books that I rated 5 stars. So, maybe this one can get 5 stars, too. I don't know. It gets 5 stars for a cover, though, because that is just so cool. But I don't have much to say, especially since this is the 3rd book in a series. But I really love the way the series is structured. I love Roshani Chokshi. She has written and is writing one of my favorite trilogies of all time, The Gilded Wolves. This is also another favorite series of mine, and I'm just having a really great time. So, that is that. I don't really know, like, it's still so annoying because it doesn't feel like the reading rush, and I don't know why. Maybe I could, like, rewatch some of my vlogs from last year. I don't know, but it just feels so freaking weird. Like, it just does not feel real. So, that's a little bit of a predicament, but I don't have anything to add. I'm gonna go. It is a while later. I think it's around 5:45, maybe closer to 6 o'clock. But I'm now 202 pages into Shah and the Tree of Wishes. I'm really, really enjoying it. I have so much fun reading these books. I'm now more than halfway through. The book is like 370 pages or something, and I'm loving it. I love Roshani Chokshi. She improves with every single book she writes, and I truly believe that. I love this book. I love this series. I love the characters. I love the way that the plot pans out, because, like, there was this overall plot, and then there are these smaller conflicts that the characters have to go through, because, like, at a cursory glance, you could be like, oh yeah, that's a really basic plot, like, that could be solved really quickly, but there are these really cool, like, plot twists, I guess, or, like, different storylines, different, I can't even think of the word, different, like, blocks in the road, I guess. And I really love the way that she comes up with her plots and her, like, the story, how the story pans out. I love it. Especially with a long series like this, where there are multiple middle books. There's not just one middle book, there are a lot. It can be really tricky, but I think Roshani Chokshi pulls it off so friggin' well. There was this door that had a door knocker that was a lion, and it spoke, and it was, like, really sassy, and I really liked it. There was also something else, which I cannot remember, but it was really cool. Oh, okay, I remember. It was this, like, it's like the House of Months. So, you're, like, passing through the different months, and it, like, described them, and then there was, like, this thingy, and it was just so cool. I don't even know how to describe it, but I love just all the little bumps in the road. That is the term. Where you'll think it's gonna go one way, and then there's, like, this completely other thing. I love the way it's done. It's, like, keeps me on the edge of my seat, and I love it. I will never stop talking about Roshani Chokshi's books. They are amazing. But there's also a new character named Rudy, who is a Naga. Hello. Literally love him. He is so cool. There's also this other thing that has to do with, like, twins, and then there's, like, the sisters, and then it's, like, one is not true or something, and I love the way, I mean, that was super vague, but I love the way that that is, like, I'm really interested to see how that pans out. I love the chapter titles. They're so funny. I'm just having a great time. I love this series. I love, like, the characters are built up so well. For a middle grade, it's so good. Also, side note, I really kind of want to raise my rating of Tunnel of Bones to 5 stars. I think I have to sit on it a little bit longer, but I loved that book. I had 0 problems with it, so I might raise it to 5 stars. And I can see this being a 5-star book as well. Like, I would not doubt this end up being a 5-star, but we'll see. I cannot wait to read the next 170 pages. I'm so excited. Oh my god. Also, the Instagram challenge is to take a photo of a stack of books. I could just take a photo of the stack of books that is over there in my TBR. I don't know. I'll see. Probably do it later tonight, but that was my update. Also, I've talked about this cover. It's so cool. I love Roshani Chokshi's descriptions, too. They're like, I feel like I'm there. Her writing can get a little bit confusing at times, and sometimes it's like things are happening a little bit too quickly that things change a little bit fast, and then it's hard to readjust and stuff. But other than that, I don't have any complaints whatsoever. Right now, I'm gonna go hang out with my cats, and we're gonna eat dinner a little bit later, and it's basically just gonna be the same thing that's been happening for, like, the past 4 days. But that is it for this clip. So goodbye, I guess. As you can tell, it's a little while later. I think it's probably close to 8 o'clock, and I'm on page 297 of my book, Art Shah and the Three Wishes. I'm still loving it. I love the way that the myths are incorporated. I would say that if you like Furthermore and Witchwood by Taha Demafi, you would love this series, or vice versa. Furthermore is a little bit more nonsensical, but this one does have, like, nonsensical. It's just so magical and whimsical, and the fantasy aspects of it are so freaking good, and I love them. It's so magical. I love it. It's, like, probably one of my favorite middle grades, like, probably my top 3. Sorry, I think I've, like, caught a cold or something, because my nose is so stuffy. Anyway, you don't want to hear that. But, since this is based in myths, and they can tend to be pretty nonsensical, there is some nonsensical aspects. Like, right now they're on Saturn, and they're like, it's pretty weird, but I love it. I love the nonsensical whimsicality of it. So, I'm having a great time. I have about 70-ish pages left, maybe a little bit more than that, but I'm really excited. I'm gonna go downstairs for a little while, and then I'm gonna finish, and then we're gonna watch Cursed. I'm just living my best life, except for this cold that I apparently caught. But yeah, I'm going to check back in once I have finished the book, and I will wrap up my full thoughts for the day. So I just finished Shah and the Tree of Wishes by Roshani Chokshi. What? That ending was honestly so unexpected. I am shook. Honestly, if I had to complain, like, to be honest, the ending was a little abrupt and fast and kind of confusing, but I'm sure that if I just reread the last, like, 2 or 3 chapters, I'll understand it and be able to, like, wrap my head around it. But, I don't think anyone is surprised that I'm giving this book 5 out of 5 stars. It was so freaking good. I loved this book. The ending was the biggest cliffhanger ever, and I don't know how I'm gonna wait for, like, however many months until, the 4th book, Shah and the City of Gold. Like, I would say it's probably in my, like, top 10 favorite series of all time. Oh my god, I am going to cry when this series is over. I'm so glad that it's been expanded into 5 books, so it's now a quintet. So the next book is not the last book, it is the penultimate book. Is that the word? I believe that is the word. But I cannot wait for book 4, and I will die, honestly, when I read that book. Because this book killed me. This is my ghost. I'm coming to you from the afterlife to review this book. I loved the Indian mythology. I am a huge fan of, like, all types of mythology, and I kept flipping to the back where the glossary is to just, like, read what these things are about and, like, who these people are and what they mean, and it was so good. I think it was done so well. I love the way that it was interwoven and it wasn't to, like, hit you over the head. I absolutely adored it. Also, it's so magical. I love it. It's just the perfect amount of, like, nonsensical whimsicality for me. And I just love it. It's not too much. It's perfect. It's just right. I'm apparently Goldilocks. I honestly don't even know what to say. So far, I think this could be my favorite book that I've read for the readathon. It was just so good consistently from page 1 to page 374. Oh my freaking god, the epilogue murdered me. Roshani Chokshi is a goddess. I love her. She is the best. I will never stop reading her books, ever. And honestly, if I ever saw her in a book event, I would probably get down on my knees and bow down to her. Because she is amazing. I love her. Honestly. Like, this series, The Gilded Walls, they are perfect in my eyes. Absolutely perfect. I just loved the quest that they went on. It was so good, and I don't really have much else to say, but, like, there was a scene where they were on Saturn, and the god of Saturn was basically just talking. It was basically, like, what is that called? A personified version of Saturn, and they were like, oh yeah, my wife asked me how she looked, and I was too engrossed in reading Twilight that I didn't respond to her or something, and so she cursed me so that anything I looked at would be blighted. And so he was like, I was trying to watch the Avengers movie with a mirror, and I burned down my entire entertainment system. And I just thought that was funny. Also, they mentioned Twilight, like, multiple times in this book. They were talking about, because there was, like, I don't want to spoil this, but there was, like, something that had to do with eclipses, and there were these 2 gods, or no, they weren't gods, they were just, like, people. Well, they weren't people either. I don't really know how to describe them, but, it was, like, one creature split up into 2. I honestly, where's my brain? Gone. It was really cool because they were arguing as to which was the best eclipse. Solar, lunar, the 3rd book in the Twilight series. It was really funny. And I love the chapter titles in this book. They really make me laugh a lot. And I feel like I am 10 years old while reading this. So it's really fun. It makes me think of the Land of Stories, and I just love it. Anything that reminds me of the Land of Stories, freaking 5 out of 5 stars, because hello. So yeah, this was freaking amazing. And I will never stop talking about the series, and I will I'm going to send Roshani the biggest DM because I'm just going to be like, thank you so much for writing such amazing books. It was honestly so good, and I feel like I'm just beating the horse dead. So I'm going to stop talking about it. But I have, oh, wow. Okay. I have finished my 6th book for the readathon. So hopefully I can finish 8 books this week. That would be stellar. I can't believe it's already the end of day 5. The week is flying by, and honestly, it still feels fake to me, so. I feel like I'm honestly in a dream, and I'm just gonna wake up, and it's not gonna be the reading rush anymore. So, love that. Also, I wasn't able to take the Instagram picture for the day. I'll do it tomorrow, it's fine. I'll just take today's photo and tomorrow's photo tomorrow. It doesn't matter, because I'm a day behind anyway, so it shouldn't be that big of a deal. But I'm really excited for the next 2 days in the readathon. Oh my god, I can't believe there's only 2 days left. That's actually really sad. Okay, I honestly don't want this to end. Maybe I'll just daily vlog from now on. No, but honestly, I had so much fun. I don't know why I'm acting like it's day 7. We're not gonna get all sappy yet. But I hope you enjoyed this vlog. That is it. I'm gonna go upstairs, watch some TV, decompress, and yeah. I hope you enjoyed. Check the description for all the stuff that's there. And that's it. I will see you tomorrow. Bye.